A while ago, I sent an email to the ancient Bristlecone pine forest, which is home to beautiful, gnarled, 5,000-year-old trees. It's normally only accessible during the summer. I said, "Hello, do you gate the ancient Bristlecone pine forest during the winter? Thank you." And they responded and said, "Hi Sean, hope you are well. White Mountain Road is a county road. They won't let us lock the gate. Not maintained in winter. Travel at own risk. So people go up there and get stuck. There is no cell phone reception. It is $1,000 to get towed out. Thanks." Well, I guess I'll try to not get stuck then.
Hello everyone. We are trying an ambitious idea for this trip. We're going to go to the ancient Bristlecone pine forest during a snowstorm. The idea is that we want to see the Bristlecone pines under snow, and we talked about doing this as some kind of like snowshoeing or skiing trip. But the problem is that the Patriarch Grove, which is the coolest part of the Bristlecone pine forest, is 17 miles from the visitor center. And so skiing and snowshoeing that would be really difficult. And also we might not even be able to drive all the way to the visitor center if we did it midwinter. So we have a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, we have four-wheel snow chains, and this is the first snowstorm of the year. So there's little to no snow there right now. We're gonna drive in and basically wait out the storm, and the forecasts say that it should only be about 8 inches of snow that's falling, so we should be able to drive out. And there is a tumbleweed on the freeway right there. So today we're driving up. We're gonna camp at 8,000 feet in order to acclimate, and then tomorrow around the time that the snow starts, we're going to drive to the Patriarch Grove and see how things go there. Hopefully we can get some really pretty conditions. Hopefully we can get some clear shots of the Sierras across the Owens Valley. So we're hopeful. This will be an interesting trip. We'll show you how it goes. Well, it's 10:30 in the morning on day 2. Last night we set out the cameras in hopes of catching the eclipse, and as we were setting them up there were clouds blowing over, so we were not too optimistic. And then we got up at like 12:30 a.m. after 1 hour of sleep and hit start on the cameras. It was 13 degrees out at the time, rather chilly, and it was a little bit more clear then. So then we went back to bed afterwards, and I woke up at 6 a.m. with 2 inches of snow on the ground, and I yelled at Matt to wake up. We need to go retrieve the cameras. Cameras were under snow, but surprisingly they seemed to have caught most of the eclipse. There were a few clouds that blew through, but it wasn't catastrophic. So now we are making breakfast. We set up the white gas stove because propane doesn't do so well in these temperatures, and we are enjoying our coffee. There's about 2 to 3 inches of snow accumulation. Our plan for today is to push on to the Patriarch Grove and then wait out the storm. There's a little break in the snow right now, but it's coming back. It's starting to snow again. So that's the update.
We made it to the Patriarch Grove without incident, though there was one deep, windswept pile of snow that would become a problem when we tried to exit the next day. After we arrived, we mostly sat in the vehicle in order to stay dry. We occasionally took short excursions outside to take photos, but we could only last 10 or 15 minutes before our hands became so numb we couldn't operate the cameras. In the past, I've struggled to photograph the bristlecones without distracting backgrounds, but the snow and the fog enabled me to have nice compositions with isolated trees. The temperature was around 14 Fahrenheit in the afternoon, and it steadily decreased to the single digits by evening. I carefully watched the road to see how much snow was accumulating, but it was hard to tell due to the wind. Due to the old white gas and the cold wind, it took over 2 hours for us to boil water for dinner. I slept inside the Jeep that night, and a lot of snow had blown inside during the day, and it was far below freezing, so it was unpleasant. I slept poorly because I was worried about the drive out the next day.
This is the morning of day 3. So we arrived here at the Patriarch Grove in the storm yesterday. And we just kind of hung out. It was nearly whiteout conditions, just blowing snow, very cold. And it was cloudy most of the night. It stopped snowing around 7 p.m. or so. And during the day, yesterday, it snowed about 8 inches, I'd say. Went to bed, didn't sleep so well because it was 11,000 feet, woke up every like 2 hours. And then the problem was that it snowed another about 3 inches during the night, and the forecasts were not predicting that. So I am very concerned about our exit from the Bristlecones today. We're making coffee right now, and then we're going to put on tire chains and air down the tires and hope that four-wheel drive and a lot of clearance can get us out. Yesterday, as it was in the evening, I did a couple laps around the parking lot just to see how the Jeep did with the snow that was there, and it was fine. It didn't have any trouble, and that was without chains and with the tires at full pressure. But I'm concerned about snow drifts, and I'm concerned about the extra snow that fell during the night. So we're gonna hope for the best. We kind of want to get out of here early so we can have as much daylight as possible in case we have trouble on the road.
There was one snowdrift that was already about 2 feet deep yesterday afternoon. So that could be 3 or 4 feet deep, but it was only a few yards. We'd have to shovel, snow shovel. But if it's too deep, we might have to snow shovel much of the entire road.
Which is 17 miles, and that's not happening.
Oh, hot chocolate coffee is good though. Woo! Alright, let's get to it.
After about a quarter mile, we encountered the first sign of the snowdrifts that were to come.
Ooh, ooh! Yeah. Woohoo! Up ahead is where we got some serious drift. Well,
I made a little progress.
for low reverse.
kind of sunk in. All right. Front mirror. Diff lock. Okay, we got to use the traction boards.
All right.
I've sunk in.
Well, this is what we got ourselves into. I think this was the deepest snowbank on the way in yesterday afternoon, so we should be able to get through here with just a little bit of shoveling and traction boards maybe. But yeah, we are. I am sunk below my knee, getting out the shovels and the traction boards. Alright, I gotta start shoveling. Let's do this. Diff lock, 4 low. Wow.
I'm on this traction board. I made a little bit of progress. Go look at the other one.
We stopped filming around here because we were getting nervous about being unable to get out.
Want me to give him another kick?
With the help of traction boards, I eventually got unstuck in reverse, so I backed down the hill, got a running start, and then lodged myself into the snowbank again.
Here he comes up to the jump.
After that run, I was totally stuck and couldn't go forward or backward, so we spent the next hour shoveling through 3 to 4 feet of snow in front of the vehicle. Finally, this happened. And with that, we freed ourselves of the snowdrift and made it to the top of the hill. We paused to be thankful for the Jeep, eat lunch, and enjoy the views of the Sierras. The remaining miles were surprisingly not bad. There were some snowdrifts, but not nearly as bad as what we had already experienced. Before returning to the visitor center, we made a stop and scrambled up a hill to get a view of Bishop from above.
All right, here we are back on paved ground, solid ground. Got the chains off, airing the tires up, and we got a bit of a problem on the shady downwind side of the car.
Too much snow.
The
Can't
door
open the
door is frozen shut.
But this is the least of our problems. Well, this is a good problem to have, I should say, and not us being stuck in the snow still.
Yeah, I'm just glad we're not stuck up there at nightfall with running out of food and water and everything.
We escaped. We are back to pavement now. We are pumping up the tires, repacking the car. About 15 minutes ago, we took off the chains. So basically what happened was the worst section was about a mile after the Patriarch Grove. And then there was another section, a big hill by Wyman Canyon or Wyman something. That was about a foot of snow on it, but there were not horrible drifts there. So it was just a nice even foot, which we could power through at 5,000 RPMs in 4 low. And we made it up. So now we're kind of drying the traction boards, getting ready to go. So successful trip. We are not stuck out in the wilderness. Sean is happy.